And now let's do some more interesting problems. In part A, what are the factors of 5 that add up to 4? Well, 5 is prime, but notice 1 plus 5 is 6, and negative 1 minus 5 is negative 6, so we don't get 4. Because of that, we would say that this is prime. Now, technically, we're only using rational numbers, so we would say prime under rational numbers. It does factor, but we don't know how to factor this just yet. Later on in this class, maybe in this class, if you're good, we learn how to factor that. If not, it will spill over into college algebra. Part B, we have 4 terms. If you have 4 terms, and notice there's no GCF besides 1 for all 4 terms, remember what you should try doing is factoring by grouping. So we'll group the first 2, and we'll group the last 2. Grouping the first 2, we can pull out an x, and you're left with y plus 5. And from the last 2, we can pull out a 2, and you're left with y plus 5. Well, notice they both have a y plus 5. So we can pull out that y plus 5. And we're left with x plus 2. So that 4-term expression we started with factors as y plus 5, x plus 2. And in part C, same deal. We have 4 terms. We should try factoring by grouping. But remember, what's the first rule in factoring? Pull out the GCF. We'll pull out a 4C from both terms. We are then left with, actually, I'm going to use a bracket instead of parentheses. You'll see why in a second. Boop. We are left with 4. Nope, there's no 4 there. I lied to you. Terrible person. I took out some of that bracket. That's okay. We are left with BC minus 3A plus B minus 3. Looks good. Oh, I think I left out an, I did make a mistake. Hopefully you found it before I did. This term should not be a BC. What should it be? I can't really hear you, but if you want to believe I can, that's cool. It should be an AB. There we go. Okay. So we have 4 terms. There's no GCF for all 4 terms. There's nothing we can combine either. So now we group the first 2 and the last 2. This 4C that we originally pulled out, that stays right there. So we'll have 4C. Keep your brackets until the very end. From the first group, we can pull out an A. And if we pull out an A, we're left with B minus 3. From the second group, we can only pull out a 1. And notice we're left with B minus 3. Now that we have a common factor between the 2 terms, we can pull out that common factor. So again, keep the 4C. Here comes the B minus 3. And if we pull out the B minus 3, we're left with A plus 1. So that one's tricky. Good tricky, though. So again, always remember to pull out the GCF.